Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
Good morning, everybody. What another beautiful Saturday morning. It's a sunny day outside here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Nice weather. Feels good. And
it's a great weekend for sports.
I'm just excited, man, because we got the NFL draft.
Playoffs.
NBA playoffs.
Somebody went home fishing last night.
But anyway, you've entered inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and I am your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? And of course, you know I'm not doing this by myself. As you heard, I got my road dog, my man, back in the building.
Yes. Back up in here.
Intellectual. What's going on, man?
Man, happy to be back, man. Had a little vacation last week, but I'm back in here.
How was it?
It was dope. It was crazy.
Yeah, you sound relaxed, bro.
Yeah, gotta be. I'm straight, though. We finna have a great show. You already know.
Yes, sir. And we have a great show for you. We have NFL Draft Talk, of course, and we have special guest, Mr. Sean Tomlinson from Bleacher Report, NFL analyst. He's going to come in and talk with us about what happened on Thursday and Friday. Also, we're going to talk NBA playoffs. We have some eliminations we'll get to later on. What's going on with Cleveland? Should LeBron leave?
Are they going to be eliminated?
I mean, we got a lot to get to. We also got MLB baseball, man. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Braves, the hometown. A lot of excitement here in Atlanta now, with these young players. We're going to get into that. And plus, we got What's on My Mind, Stop It.
Yes.
Quick Hits is about to come up next. So make sure you let everybody know that they can tune in as well. In Atlanta, we're on 1100 AM. Locally, also, we're on iHeartRadio. And that's 1100 AM.
Yes.
The Real. Tune in, 1100 AM. Radio Now, the same, 1100 AM.
1100 AM.
Just keep repeating it. That's what it is. But anyway, we're about to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. Okay, so we're about to get into this. First off, Jason Witten let out a blow. Man, when he said he was going to retire,
yeah,
I think it had something to do with that pick, man. That was a horrible pick by the Dallas Cowboys.
He did that quick, too.
I think it was because of that pick.
He did them like they did theirs.
It was horrible. Yeah, and maybe that had something to do with it, too.
Did Philly come in and do what? Take a tight end right before they pick.
Yep.
David Akers blasted them.
Right. Yeah, man. But so he said he's going to retire, and now he's going to come in and try to join ESPN Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Man, that's big. It's like it almost made him retire, it kind of seems like. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I got a job right now. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and retire. I'm tired of getting my body beat up. I've shown that I'm probably one of the all-time greatest tight ends. I'm tired.
Yeah. Now, he gives his all. He's played, seemed like, for 20 years, it seemed like. Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. And so it's a very long time. What he played, about 11 to 12 years?
15.
15.
15, and still hadn't reached.
Going to the Hall.
Yeah, he's going to the Hall.
Right. This year, the defense probably wouldn't have helped carry them to the championship. What you think about that?
And I'm going to ask you this real quick, and we're going to move on. Is Jason Witten the greatest receiver in Dallas?
Greatest tight end?
Nope.
No, the greatest receiver ever in Dallas.
Dallas?
Oh, you can make that argument. That's a great argument. Actually, he played longer than Irvin. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the greatest receiver. I think he's probably one of the greatest.
I'm just saying, he played longer than
top
Irvin.
3 maybe.
He got the most. I think he got the most catches, right?
Maybe top 2.
Well, yeah, it's easy to get 1,000 catches when all you run are 4-yard outs.
Oh, hey, and that's his team, so I'm going to leave that alone. Moving on. So, Darius Geis, who was projected to go in the first round, dropped to the 59th pick overall to the Washington Redskins. And this was after reports circulated that he had an incident with the Philadelphia Eagles running back coach, Deuce Staley. Then they were saying something else supposed to jump off that TMZ was supposed to bring out. TMZ denied the report. But then Geis came out and said, look, that interview with Philly went great. Me and Deuce have a great relationship.
Right. And Philly hasn't came out and said anything.
Right. And remember, this is the same guy. Remember when they asked about, was his mother a prostitute? And
right.
all of that good stuff.
And they asked him something about his sexual orientation too also, didn't they?
Yep. So what you think, man? You think he's got something to do with that?
He was the 3rd running back selected?
Yep.
I mean, 3rd, he would have been what?
No, he went to 3rd. He was the was he the 3rd? He was like the 5th or 6th, I think. The 6th running back taken.
Oh, so yeah, maybe so then. That probably did have something to do with it. And it's horrible because Philly should have came out and said it's untrue if it didn't happen.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yep. So
for Philly not to say nothing. I'm not saying that it did happen, but that wouldn't help. Like, why wouldn't y'all? If it didn't happen, y'all should have came out and said, you know what, this story is false or whatever the case may be.
I don't know, man, but we'll see what happens though.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
Other people didn't drop far for other reasons.
Something's gonna come out. Something's gonna come out. We'll see. Moving on, Rajon Rondo said he wants to be a GM and a coach after he retires.
I could see him a coach. He's a coach on the floor. A lot of point guards, eventually do become coaches. I can definitely see him a coach. He's very smart. Everybody that ever played with him said he's one of the smartest people that they've played with.
So what about him being a GM?
I don't know about that.
Why not?
Sure I know about that.
You don't think he has
GM is different than coach,
right?
Look at Doc.
Yeah, that's true. But you can't be a GM and a coach. I think Doc's problem was, and most people fail at it, trying to be a GM and a coach.
Right.
So I think that's why I'm trying to think of a lot of ex-players that succeeded that great as GMs. Right.
There isn't a lot.
Right.
Not saying that they don't know how to pick talent, but do they put feelings into it? Do other things play into it as opposed to somebody that's a GM that came up in the ranks, scouting, doing this and doing that. So I think that plays a part into it too. I think I could definitely see him being a coach and being a very good coach because he's smart. Even when he played with Chicago last year, the younger kids said he was teaching them a lot of different things. So I think that he would be great as a coach.
True.
I mean, we still talking 2-3 years down the line, the rate he's playing.
So we'll see. But right now he's doing a heck of a job. Moving on. Quickly, the Atlanta Hawks and Coach Mike Budenholzer decide to part ways. We talked about this last week when you were gone, D. The Atlanta Hawks was hoping he would get that job. Right. But now they have to pay him $13 million guaranteed.
Yeah, the whole thing. Unless he goes to another team, then they don't have to pay the difference or something.
Yeah, they basically got nothing. The Hawks got nothing. Just like they got nothing for Horford. They got really nothing for Millsap. They got really what they get for Korver. I don't know.
They're going for the full rebuild. They're doing it the way that they're doing it. They'll be a top 5 pick next year too.
Yeah.
They're doing it
Yeah.
the Philly way.
But-
That's what we're going to call it, the Philly way.
Right. But Philly took a long time to get it. But
Look
anyway.
where they at. Look where they at.
Moving on. So listen to this, you all. This is crazy. So, G, you might as well get it ready. So, there was a tweet. It was an Instagram. I'm sorry. It was on Instagram. It was Instagram. It was a comment where somebody posted saying that saying that they were talking about the OKC team, and they were talking about it with Durant on the team. Mm-hmm. And some other person was responding to someone else, and they said that the team with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, it was mainly Russell Westbrook's fault. It wasn't, KD, because they were a good team. Kevin Durant liked that post.
Right.
But then he came back and said it was by accident.
Yeah.
Stop it. Come on, man. Do you believe that?
I don't know. You can accidentally like
Nah, come
Yeah,
on.
You can.
but
I'm not saying that he did, but you can. I mean, if you did, I just say man up.
Right, just do it. You
If you did, man up.
Hey,
and if you didn't, then you're real. But
and KD
we
is
don't know
cool.
what KD you are when you're doing stuff on social media, because you had the fake page.
Right,
you was
bro.
trolling folks,
We can't.
so
Yeah,
we don't know what we can't take your word.
we can't. I mean, my thing is, if you did it, you talk all hard on the court, and you this tough guy. Be a tough guy behind the screen.
I've told you about that tough guy before. If you was a tough guy, and I get it, you from DMV, so you might got it in you, but come like that when you first come to the league.
Right.
Don't win a championship and be like, oh, now I want to fight everybody.
Right.
Or, like, no, dude, fall back.
And last but not least, Dabo Swinney says that he wants Clemson Tigers to play the Georgia Bulldogs every year.
That's dope. That's dope.
Like, you don't hear coaches say that. Yeah. I haven't heard a coach say that.
I want Georgia coach to say the same thing.
I kind of agree with that. I want to see more like games like that where interconference, two top teams or two top programs every year.
Yeah, and it can make or break the national championship.
Right.
And it would keep, when like seeing the SEC playing FCS schools, like 2 or 3 of them every year.
54-3.
Right. So look, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hello, I'm your girl Crystal Dayon, and this is your sports news break. The Atlanta Braves lost last night to the Philadelphia Phillies, 7-3. Rookie Ronald Acuna continues his hot streak, going 2 for 4, including a double. In NBA playoff action, the Indiana Pacers forced a Game 7 by blowing out the Cleveland Cavaliers, 121-87. The Toronto Raptors advanced to the second round by defeating the Washington Wizards, 102-92. They await the winner of Cleveland and Indiana. And the Utah Jazz closed out their series against the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 96-91 victory. They will face the Houston Rockets in the next round. The Atlanta United hosts the Montreal Impact today at 1 p.m. Make sure you follow the 3-point conversion for all your major sports updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great show.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy here with your man, The Intellectual.
Yes, sir. You hit a beat.
Yes, sir. And this next segment, which is called The Hot Topic, is brought to you by Cindy Cuts Barbershop, which is located 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Shout out to that whole barbershop crew. Shout out to my barber, Dwayne Chambers. You can follow him on Instagram. He's a superstar, y'all. I mean, I don't know if he accepted. Here's how big he is right now, I think. So, but anyway, his Instagram is at Simha the Barber. That's at SIMHATHEBARBER at Simha the Barber. And a big shout out to Mr. Johnny Sherrod Quest. All right, so last night we saw the Cleveland Cavaliers get embarrassed. Now, we're not going to really talk about the game in itself.
Per se, yeah.
But I want to talk about, of course, LeBron James.
The elephant in the room.
Yes. And I want to know if he loses or wins, should he leave? Like, does he get a pass right now to leave?
He gets a pass either way.
Okay, why you say that?
This
I want to know why. Hold on, I want to know why. Why you say that?
No matter what happens this season, he has a free pass to leave. He came back to get Cleveland a championship. He accomplished that. Now he can do whatever he wants. If he wants to stay, cool. If he wants to go to the Lakers or wherever, it shouldn't. I think fans are still going to burn jerseys because that's the thing to do now. Mm-hmm. But he can do whatever he wants now.
So this is how I feel about it. So I agree with him partly. He gave Cleveland what they wanted. So they per se couldn't be mad at him. He came back, got the city a championship. But what did that do to your legacy? Like, you just jumping around. Now you're gonna be on your it's gonna be the third team, but you left 3 times. Like, dude, you're jumping. Where you gonna go back to Miami?
Keep jumping.
Or if you go to Lakers, it's like, dude, you're just like.
Well, in the era of free agency, like before, like in the people want to compare him to Jordan. In that era, free agency wasn't a big deal until like 95, where Alonzo Mourning went to the Heat. And he signed a big contract, and then Shaq ended up getting a big contract when he went to the Lakers. That was when kind of free agency really started with the NBA.
Right.
So players playing before that, they stayed on their team until they were traded.
Right.
But now you can move around and kind of put pieces together however you want, and the players can kind of control where they want to go. He's not going to bring free agents to Cleveland.
Yeah,
he didn't the first time around.
It's not happening.
So he has to take it upon himself to go where
he was only bringing like role players like James Jones, Kyle Korver, people like that. No, Paul George isn't coming to Cleveland. Not to mention they don't have the money. So even if he could come, they don't have the cash to come. They got K-Love on the max, LeBron of course max, Tristan Thompson on the max, J.R. Smith still under contract next year.
Yep,
for like 13 or something like that. So they don't even have the money to do anything, even if they want it. Even if LeBron leaves, they still don't have money.
So let me say this then. What if they decided to get the Banana Boat crew? They get the Banana Boat crew and they all go to New York. Now they've gone to a mutual team.
Well, if Chris Paul win, he's not leaving. Even if they get to the finals, he's not leaving.
I think he does.
I don't think he leaves.
If he's trying to get his $200 million contract, all his money, he's
won't.
staying in Houston.
But do you think he's trying to get all of that?
I do think he is. That's why he forced the trade.
Right, because if he signed as a free agent, he would have less money. But since he was traded, Houston has his bird rights. Yeah. He can sign a max deal.
He's not going nowhere.
I think if he wins, I think they try. I think they all try. Say, you know what? Let's try one more time.
If they try to get together, they're going to be in Houston.
But even if they do, if you get Chris Paul, LeBron, Carmelo, and D-Wade in New York, they still can't beat Golden State. It's like because now you done broke up Houston, right? So you got Carmelo, who's maybe 10 a game with the 5 of them. LeBron, of course, he's going to do his thing. Chris Paul's going to do his thing. And then what D Wade are you getting? D Wade can play 25 minutes and maybe get you 15.
Right.
So it's not 3 years ago. Like, do you want to do the banana boat now? Like, you see what Carmelo just did in the playoffs, right?
Right. So, well, this is what I say then. If I hear you, and like, look, he's done it. I mean, yes, he's only been to 2 teams, but it feels like it's been more than that. But
Right.
still, it's like, as a great, like you were saying earlier, D. If he leaves, now it's like you're like that whiny kid that spoiled. Every time it doesn't go your way,
You take your ball
you
from
pout
the
and you take the
You
ball.
take the ball and lead the court.
But think of what can Cleveland do financially to get better with him next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing they can do because nobody's going to take Tristan Thompson in his contract.
Nope.
Nobody's going to take J.R. Smith, not because of his contract, which isn't bad, but because they don't want to deal with the headache, although he hasn't really been in trouble in Cleveland.
Right.
I mean, it's nothing to do in Cleveland.
I think the bigger issue is Tristan Thompson's contract
Yeah,
because it's going to be it's $20 million
a year
for a guy who's
5 and 5.
he's not even he's barely he's not even
In the rotation now. Yeah, he played like 4 minutes or 5 minutes last night. He did not get in like that. So why would someone take him? I mean, that would definitely be the reason to leave. If you lose in the first round in Indiana, first off, you're struggling to Indiana. And, not to take nothing away from Indiana, but who thought that Cleveland and Indiana would be in Game 7 after a 30-point blowout in Game 6? Like, come on. I think he's going to reevaluate it even if they get out of the first round. I mean, you have to. Imagine if they met. Of course, like I've spoken before, if they meet the Raptors in the second round, I think that just because of the mental issue that the Raptors seem like they cannot beat LeBron, I think that Cleveland would beat them because of that. But then you go up against Philly. I don't. That's something else to talk about. But him leaving, I could see him leaving though. Seriously,
Me too.
Their defense is horrible.
And like, who are you? Like, I thought he had a chance to stay if they would have brought DeAndre Jordan in. I thought, to me, that was the person to get DeAndre.
But who was the Clippers going to take? Tristan Thompson? Like, why would I even do that? I'm not, because I'm still paying a big contract for a couple more years, so it's not like I'm in a rebuild mode.
But
you know
now,
what I mean?
what I'm saying is, before Isaiah got hurt, you could have, while he was still playing, I would have gave up Isaiah. I mean, LA took him. I would have gave up Isaiah. I would have gave up who's the old boy that playing Utah now? Crowder. I would have gave up Crowder. Or even if you made a trade, because who they get? They got George Hill.
Who else? But I'm saying who else? Like who do LA necessarily want? You got Jerry West over there. He's not just taking IT and Jay Crowder.
He might want to clear cap space.
He not clearing space though.
There might be a third team involved. That's what
it would have had to happen.
Because it was, I think, was it not Milwaukee? Who was it? I forgot who it was, but it was a third team. They were saying they didn't want it involved.
I think it was like maybe Phoenix,
something like that.
But I think that's what stopped it, though.
The main thing was, I think the Clippers wanted the Brooklyn pick. That Cleveland
and they didn't
had.
want to give it up. Now he would have did it for that. He definitely would have did it.
I think they had another first round pick.
It was a late one, though. And I think that's the one they were offering. They were offering,
but the Clippers wanted that higher.
Yeah. Who wants the 25th pick?
Right.
They wanted that. It was probably a top 10 pick.
It's going to be what they're like 8th as projected right now to be 8th.
Okay, so let's say he leaves. Where does he go?
I think he goes to Philly.
Why? I don't see that. Why would he go to Philly?
Seems like such a bad idea.
Yeah, it doesn't make
like
sense.
They have a lot of young talent.
You have another
he's
LeBron
in the East, but
where is he going to go? I don't see him going to the West.
That's why I say if the Banana Boat crew get together, I can see him going to New York. Go to New York.
So what do they? So what does New York do with Porzingis? Does he get traded?
No,
as far as them all getting to New York,
Carmelo,
they probably have to trade
Carmelo
him.
going to be the sixth man?
Because Carmelo should get about $1.5 million a year.
Yeah, going to opt. I think with him, if he's going to try to get a gauge on the market and see if he's going to opt out. I think if he doesn't care about money necessarily, he'll opt out. Probably take a mid-level exception or something.
History has shown Carmelo
cares about the money. Yeah,
but I don't think he does now. Though honestly, I think he's sweating and he's like, you know what? I need a chip. I think he wanted the money because his wife. I think at the time, when he was messing with Lala, she was controlling it. And matter of fact, reports came out.
He thought he was in the right place.
Right? Yeah.
No, because he wanted. Remember, he wanted to come to Chicago, but it was reports that his wife said, "I only want to stay if it's either New York or L.A. because of her career."
Right.
And that influenced him staying in New York.
Right.
He wanted to come to Chicago.
But they still, yeah.
And I don't think it's money right now for him because time is ticking. And as bad as he played, he better not worry about money. So I think it's more so now if you got Porzingis, you pay Chris Paul. And like I said, if Chris Paul wins, it might not matter to him now. It might be like, yo, we boys, we love each other like that. We cool. Let's go ahead and get Melo a chip because he's the only one that doesn't have a chip.
See, I think with that being said, right, like it's cool, you my boy, you my best friend and all that. I just want to chip over here. I'm not leaving my perfect, what we've created to go over here and see if it's going to work with the banana boat.
Of that crew, everybody can get their money. So somebody's going to not get their money.
Exactly.
Right.
But everyone else will get their money.
It's got to be Melo.
That's going to be a problem.
It's got to be Melo and Wade.
I mean, it's definitely it's going to be Melo and Wade.
Yeah, that's it. So I could see Chris Paul and LeBron, and LeBron might be like, you know what, I don't have to get all that.
First off, Wade got to say he coming back.
He'll come back for that.
LeBron and Carmelo are like the same age,
right?
So it's hard to see that Carmelo would take the veteran minimum or whatever, and LeBron's getting still a max contract.
But he's playing like a veteran,
right? He would have that ego. You would expect that ego from Melo, right?
But he's playing like a veteran though. Like,
well, he is a veteran. He's not even playing like a veteran.
He's playing like a 20-year-old veteran right now. Why would anybody give him money?
I mean, nobody's going to pay him. Nobody's going to pay him. If he opts out, he's getting $4 to $6 million.
Yeah.
So what would keep him? Why wouldn't he opt in to get the rest of his money?
I agree.
Look, maybe when we
I think it's going to also blow into what P. George does.
Look, we got to go because we have a guest coming on. When we get to, we're going to talk basketball later on. But we might have to revisit this because
where does he go? Let's just end it with that. Where do you think he go, G?
Where does LeBron go?
Yeah, if he leaves.
New York,
Houston.
I want to say Houston, but I think he really wants to be Golden State, so I say New York.
If PG go to LA, he gonna follow him.
PG might come to
or
New York.
Kawhi.
They might come to New York. But look, we're gonna get into this later on. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back to talk NFL draft.
Clarendon, point guard for the Atlanta Dream, and I listen to Mr. Controversy on the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
What it is, what it ain't, this your boy Sherm, host of Face the Music. Join me every Wednesday night for Power Hour where we intersect the worlds of sports and music, and we do it the best way we can, which is on a Sherm beat. So if you're ready to come through, catch some realness, vibe to some dope sounds, tune in to Face the Music every Wednesday on the 3-Point Conversion station. Let's get it.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy here with the intellectual
in the building,
and my man Greg is on the ones and twos.
You know it.
Hopefully it's not for the last time, but we're gonna try to do something about that. Yeah. Anyway,
I've heard about that.
So, like we talked about earlier, the NFL draft happened Thursday and Friday. And before we bring in our guest, I used to hated that the NFL moved the NFL draft to prime time and drug out the first round. I hated that at first.
Exactly what they did.
But this year was I liked it this year. Let me tell you why I didn't like it. Because I missed on Saturday. Because first of all, it wasn't so drawn out. I mean, it doesn't take 3 hours for first round. It didn't before. It didn't.
It felt like it did.
Yeah, it did.
Because teams were taking their whole 15
No, that's
minutes.
what I'm saying.
Right, like
I'm
I saw last
now.
night, they said the pick was in as soon as the third pick came, or whatever pick it was, the pick in, and they just sat there for 5 more minutes, like for real.
But that's what I'm saying. But beforehand, when it was on Saturday morning, it didn't go like that. It was quick. You know what I'm saying?
They trying to fill the time
yeah,
slot.
I don't
they
like
just
this
try to make sure that they get the time slot.
I don't like that. But it worked out Thursday night. It was drama and everything. So anyway, we definitely have to bring in the 3-point conversion sports lounge cousin. Our cousin, Mr. Sean Thomason from Bleacher Report. What's going on, cuz?
I'm doing well, and I guess I absolutely agree. I get the NFL. It's a product. It's prime time. You want to have the eyeballs on it. But, if teams taking the whole clock, it's like your jerk friend in a fantasy football league who every time doesn't make his pick till the 3-second mark, and he would get kicked out of the league. You would absolutely not have him back. You would take his money and you would tell him to go home. You would not have him back.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. It's a fun event. It's great, but at some point, and this will happen today, when we get into the middle of the 5th round, I'm like, all right, let's just get going here, guys.
Right. I agree. So let's start out. We're in Atlanta. This is hometown. What did you think about their picks, in particularly the Ridley pick? Do you think that pick was a good pick for the Atlanta Falcons?
I did, really. I think he kind of fell to them. The whole notion and the need to get a good complementary option next to Julio Jones has been, it seems to be a problem that the Falcons solve for a bit, then don't. It seems to always be sort of hovering around. And now I think you have that. Now, I don't know what we want to read into Julio Jones scrubbing his Twitter feeds of his all of social media of all things Falcons, but I think you plug him in there. You've still got that explosive rushing attack and a dynamic one with Freeman, and what you're doing is you are maximizing the talent of your quarterback. And doing it in a way that I think some teams have failed to do. Like, listen, I'm not calling Matt Ryan old yet, but he's not young either. And not every quarterback ages like Tom Brady, right? Not every quarterback ages like Drew Brees. So once you get into a few years from now, that sort of late 30s territory, you just never know when that cliff could be coming. So you need to, when you have a quarterback at the top of his game, you need to give him as many weapons as possible. So that's why I think it was a wise move to plug Wrigley in.
Absolutely. So let's talk about them Browns. What do you think about their first 2 picks?
Yeah, I think people were shocked by the Mayfield pick a little, but listen, there's quarterbacks, how I would describe it, there's a lot of good among the quarterbacks this year, and maybe not a lot of great. And I would put Baker Mayfield in that great category. There's some height concerns, but I sort of fluff that off. I mean, there's it doesn't take long to find examples of quarterbacks who have gotten past that, that 6'1" mark that we talk about, that are shorter than that, and they do well. Russell Wilson, obviously, I just mentioned Breeze, and they do well by running well, and Mayfield does that, and he makes that NFL throw. It sounds like such a vague term, but you can see it on tape. These tight window throws deep downfield, he can make them. He's got great arm strength. I think finally, Browns fans they can invite some hope into their lives. Just maybe. I'm not saying they're title contenders this year. Probably not in 2019 either, but maybe they can win a half dozen games in 2018, and that'll feel pretty good. The factory of sadness could maybe begin to shut down.
Okay. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of upset with the first.
That's all right. What do you want them to do?
Saquon. It was. I mean, to me, that was because they could have gotten Mayfield.
And
with
I think
the fourth
that's
pick.
my biggest thing.
They could have got Mayfield.
And I think they could have got what's his name, Ward from Ohio State.
Yeah,
I think they could have got him later than fourth.
Yeah, I mean, I think they made up and I'm with you, Sean. I think it's not as bad as we
I'm not saying they're
thought
bad
it was.
picks. I just don't like where they got picked.
Sean, they could have got Saquon. The Giants, nobody was touching Mayfield in the first 2 picks after them. Then they could have got Mayfield the fourth. I just thought that was.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They would have had obviously a quarterback there at fourth. I mean, you can't really play the hindsight game and look at the draft now and say, well, you could have had Allen or Rosen. At the time, they're thinking there is this quarterback thirst. Nobody thought Rosen was going to drop to 10, right? So you need to go with that information that you have at the time, and they were legitimately fearful that somebody like, say, the Bills would be even more aggressive, or the Broncos would trade up, or somebody would beat them to the guy they wanted, and the guy they wanted was Curry Mayfield. So I think you have to take that quarterback first. But then I agree. The fourth pick with Ward, I mean, it's tough because cornerback is such a need for them too. They have the 19th ranked pass defense. Ward is a very physical guy. He's sort of the prototypical modern NFL cornerback in that he's a taller guy, but he has great ball skills. I just would have preferred the Chubb pick there. Actually, you pair him on the outside with the top pick you had last year, and you turn quarterbacks to dust that way. But I think we're kind of splitting hairs a bit. The Ward pick was fine too. I mean, it addresses a core need, but but then just a sort of a touch of a tangent here. Barkley, I love him. He is such a dynamic, versatile running back, and those guys just don't come around too often.
Right.
And I think
and there is a but with him. He's still a running back, and we're talking about a position where we start to call guys old at like the age of 28. And if you're sitting there, you're the Giants. They honestly believe that they weren't as bad as their record says they were in 2017. And I agree, for the record. They had a lot of injuries. So they're not going to get a chance to pick number 2 again often, or maybe not for a while. And you got a 37-year-old quarterback, right? It's tough. Right. I hope they don't look back on this a couple of years from now and say, hey, we got Saquon Barkley, but he's wasting away.
Right. Because you got to carry the ball 35 times a game.
Yeah, so.
yeah, and it's a tough position to be in. I get the appeal of him. I love him too, but just as a team, the value at that number 2 spot is maybe less than ideal for them. That's all I'm saying.
All right, and once again, we're here live with Mr. Sean Tomlinson from Bleacher Report, the NFL analyst there. And Sean, what team or teams do you think nailed the draft so far that's really not getting that much attention?
Well, the one I do like that's done well so far, actually, the Redskins. You're sitting here, Deron Payne up the middle. He is just, he is a human fridge with what he's able to do up there. He's a big guy, a powerful guy at the middle, and they had a weak run defense. So you get him early, and then you trade up for Juice, and the offensively that was just a core need, a core struggle for the Steelers or for the Redskins, and they need somebody who can not just power the ball at the middle, but also catch passes. I like what they did there in that sense. and the Steelers as well. I mean, it's a few years off, maybe, but I think they got the heir to Big Ben with Mason Rudolph. He was getting some first round buzz, and what just happens is I think the reason he fell is just simply because when you get past a certain point, the quarterback needs aren't as glaring. Teams simply don't need a quarterback. Teams that got their quarterback earlier, and then he just keeps going. Then all of a sudden, he falls in the Steelers' lap. It's a perfect situation where a guy who has great talent but still needs some development, he can sit, watch, and learn for a year or two, and then come in and be confident. And oh, by the way, he's throwing to a guy, James Washington, that he had a great connection with in college. So I think that's a perfect situation.
Hey, Sean, this is Greg. Thanks, Raphael, for letting me ask a question. I want to ask about the Baltimore Ravens taking Lamar Jackson at the end of the first round. What is the quarterback room as it looks now with Flacco, RG3, and Jackson? Do you think that is going to be the same once training camp or once the season starts?
I do not. And, RG3 waited so long for a job. And bless his soul, but I think he's the odd man out there, and really, maybe he shouldn't be. I don't know. I think Joe Flacco, he sort of is propped up by that shiny Super Bowl ring that he earned, but that was a long time ago now. We don't talk about this enough. He was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league in 2017 and in 2016. He just is simply inaccurate. He averaged, I don't have it in front of me, but it was less than 60 yards per attempt. He was putrid. That said, with Lamar Jackson, I think he is incredible talent, but similar to Rudolph, he needs some time to sit, watch, and learn as well. If you try and throw him in there right away, you're not doing yourself any favors as the Ravens, and you're not doing Jackson any favors. So that's all right. I don't think he should see the field as a quarterback until at least 2019. I think you can get him on the field as a running back in sort of specialty situations. But yeah, I think that I think the Ravens could almost do the same thing that the Chiefs did with Alex Smith, but but the trade value will not be anywhere near the same. I think RG3 probably finds his way out of town before if not before training camp, definitely before the start of the season.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if they wait a year to get rid of Flacco, even if they cut him, they save some money.
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me either. But you're right. His contract is an absolute anchor. I mean, it is that's really the real reason why he's still on the roster. I mean, everything I just said about him being bad, the Ravens are obviously clearly aware of that, but there's a financial reality to every move and every decision that's made by a front offense. You can't just eat $20 million or something. You put yourself not just in a hole now, in a hole going forward for a few years. So they need to wait till, I believe, at least next summer to make that move, and then it's a bit easier to stomach.
All right. We appreciate you, Sean. That's my man, Sean Thomason. Once again, NFL analyst for Bleacher Report. And you can follow him on Twitter at Sean G. Thomason. Sean G stands for Good Talk Thomason. Sean, appreciate you, man, for coming on, man. Just like the other segment, man, we could talk about this for hours, but I know we have to go and we have to let you go. But appreciate you for coming on, man. Definitely, get ready because there's a lot more football coming up. So just stay ready. We're going to have you back on, and we appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Have a good day.
No problem. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mike Patton, a.k.a. The General. And on my Saturday mornings, I got my feet kicked up, chilling, listening to my boys, The Intellectual and Mr. Controversy, ripping in the lounge.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. The Intellectual with me.
In the building.
And I'm Mr. Controversy. And this next segment, What's on My Mind, is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. I freestyle just a little bit. Make sure you purchase your apparel today exclusively at facebook.com/Sucker Free Life LLC. And that's SUCKA Free Life LLC. And like I said, this segment right here, this is your first time listening. It's called What's on My Mind. And this is where we basically get a chance to, speak our minds. What's up with the sports world? What's bothering us? What's going on? What we don't understand or what we want to see. Mm-hmm. Just our way of getting stuff out.
You know it.
So, let me talk about what's on my mind. So, we just talked to Mr. Sean Thomason. Appreciate him for coming on. NFL analyst from Bleacher Report. And we were talking about Saquon Barkley and Cleveland Browns should have drafted him. And he had some good points. He said, yeah, he's one-of-a-kind running back. But at the same time, he's a running back. And they only have 6-7 years. After that, it's kind of hard to see them play longer than that. So why go first with him? I never understood that. And I'm going to tell you why. We draft quarterbacks. When I say we, teams draft quarterbacks every, first round, first pick, 5 going first round. We went through a nice period. I could think of years. 83, great draft for quarterbacks. It was great. The year when Vince Young came in, I think that was pretty good. The year with Eli Manning came in, that was pretty good. Of course, 2011 with Russell Wilson, we thought RG3, but we thought Andrew Luck. But Andrew Luck and, you thought, man, this is a great class. And then from there on with Wentz, Goff, okay. But you notice I mentioned maybe 4 years. Besides that, we've seen a whole bunch of garbage quarterbacks fail, especially in Cleveland. So why not running backs? Yes, you can see injuries. I understand that. But for the most part, if it's your guy or if it's the guy, why not get a running back? Look how many great running backs are in the league that can help you out, especially a team like Cleveland Browns or any team. Because when you think about a quarterback need wide receivers. They need time to develop. They need an offensive line, of course. But I think the best or the most important piece to a good quarterback or a great quarterback is a running back. And why not get a running back that can do it all? That can catch, run, block. That assists the quarterback. That gets the quarterback out of trouble, swing pass, running the ball, takes pressure off of him. You don't have to pass every down. Even if he's going to be good for 6 or 7 years, why not go running back, man? I mean, to me, they're more sure than a quarterback. They're more sure than a wide receiver. I mean, at least you know you're going to get production out of them. And I just don't like that notion of don't go running back number 1, but go running back number 2. That doesn't make sense. Go running back number 7, but not number 1. Why? What difference does that make? And I think sometimes, or most times, we play well, you're not supposed to do this just because you're not supposed to do this, but we don't have a logical reason. And I think that if we did it all over again, if you think about it, I know it's easy to say that now, but Marshall Faulk, even Marshall Faulk coming out of San Diego State, that's a number 1 pick. You know, like, I don't see why he wouldn't be a number 1 pick. I mean, again, people like the quarterback, but I can name maybe 7 quarterbacks right now that have played well. You like, that's a lot. Not compared to 230, whatever. So, like I said, what's on my mind is let's stop saying it's all about, the running back shouldn't go number 1 because they shouldn't go number 1. That's like the only reason. A quarterback can get hurt too. Most quarterbacks are garbage when they come out. So that's what's on my mind, man.
I definitely understand what you're saying. It's always a double standard when it comes to running backs. And, I mean, not just running backs, offensive linemen. Quarterback is always the premium, but you also always have so many busts at quarterback. You know what I mean? Quentin Nelson, isn't that his name? He went,
yeah.
5th, 6th.
Yeah.
That's high for an offensive lineman.
For a guard.
For a guard, right. Yeah.
You normally see tackles go that high.
Right.
They could go number 1, but not a guard.
Guard usually doesn't go that high, but a QB you definitely can guarantee is probably going to be in the top 5 almost every year, right?
Right.
Running back, not really. It was definitely a good segment. What's on my mind? So I want to talk about this draft. Talk about the draft a little bit. What I want to talk about with the draft, though, is the way that Geis dropped. He dropped for something that we didn't know whether it was true. Probably one of the best running backs in the draft. I think over the last 2 years he had over 2,500 yards, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in that range. So that's the monster numbers. Monster numbers. You come in and do that, and then you go so late. You don't expect to go that late. They say he did something with Deuce, but there's been no broad material. Philly didn't come out, and say that he didn't, but they also didn't come out and say that he did. Based on what he knows, he has a great relationship with him. I think if it was a bad relationship, he probably wouldn't even said that, because of it could always come out that it is a bad relationship. So I definitely think Philly should have said something about that, because that not only that's his livelihood. That's what this kid's been waiting to do for all his life, and now he's get drafted so low. So I'm sure he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. But with that being said, we can go to what's the kid's name? Allen. He also had something that came out draft night, the night before the draft, and they said it was racist tweets. So I saw the tweets. I don't think they were racist tweets. I think they were a 14, 15-year-old kid that listened to rap, hang out with black people, and he said Nigga. It wasn't, the hard ER. While I don't agree with him saying it at all, there should be, no reason for him saying it. I don't think he's going to have to explain to the team that I wasn't saying it in a racial tone. I'm sure that they would understand that and see how he was saying it. However, my point in that is that he didn't drop. He did not drop. He went still top 10, and he went 7, and it was no issue. But the overtone with it was that he made a racist tweet. So you got someone that we know made a racist tweet, still goes top 10, but we got someone that's probably top 3 running back. No story behind it, no physical, no real evidence of what happened, and he drops. That's always an issue. And even something else I'm going to talk about with the draft. We can talk about Lamar Jackson dropping to where he dropped. If Lamar Jackson wasn't, I'm going to say it, if he was a white quarterback, he would have went top 5. Doing what he did, the numbers he put up, the touchdowns he put up, the offense he put up, he would have went top 5. But because of the notion that black quarterbacks are runners, they can't do this, they can't do that, then that drops him to the last pick in the first round. And I actually think he went to a better position with the team that he's going to than most of the other quarterbacks. Arizona, of course, the kid's going to sit behind Sam Bradford this year. But, I mean, Lamar Jackson sits behind Flacco for a year and gets their Raven teams back going. That's not too much out the realm for the Ravens to be back in the playoffs in 2 years, So I think it actually worked out very good for him. He still won the first round, so he's still going to get that guaranteed contract. They're also going to have one more year of security with him by being a first-round pick. But, I mean, he's easily a top 10 talent. And he said, they asked him, what are they getting with you? He said, they getting a ship. I'm coming here to bring a championship. So, man, I like the chip he going to have on his shoulder. And I think that 1 year, because that's all I think he going to play behind Flacco. Because, like Sean just said, Flacco has been putrid. He's been horrible over the last few years. But he's owed so much, you got to let him start. So I think he's going to sit for a year. He's going to learn. And I think I think he's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder and really, really show out. But I just wanted to talk about the discrepancy in the other side of the playing field when it comes to one person making a statement or something coming out and then another person and what Lamar Jackson went through, and that's pretty much what's on my mind.
Hey, that you hit it right on the nail. The funny thing about now, like you said, I agree with Lamar Jackson 100%. I can't say 150 because it don't make sense. But 100%, I agree. But going to Geis, I agree with you too. Mm-hmm. And I shouldn't say but, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The funny thing I realized with NFL, if they notice, if it's something that came out and we've seen it, this is what they said, it's been reported, like Larry Tunsil, wasn't it Laramie Tunsil? Tunsil. When he came out and the video, he dropped from he could have been a number one pick.
Yeah, he went like 10th or something.
Yeah, he dropped it like 10 or 11. Yeah.
The funny thing is, when they don't know what you said or know what you did, is just rumors circulating.
You go further.
You drop further down. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Like, if you caught red-handed, we gonna still draft you high.
Yeah, well, that's what he did. He's cool. And maybe it's because
but if we don't know if you did it, we ain't gonna mess with you.
Do you think that's because we don't know what he did? If he could have done something crazy.
Worse, it could have been crazy.
Yeah, or I don't understand it though. Like,
no, I think it's
what's behind it.
To me, I think it's the good old boy mentality.
It brings up one of those buzzwords in the NFL, which is distraction.
Right.
And if it's something to where we don't know what happened, but people are going to keep asking about it, then it's something we don't want to deal with.
Right.
I don't know, man, but that was some good stuff. And
we're gonna crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. it's that's the draft though. But anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be back with our Stop It moments. We'll be right back.
WWE Lakeville, AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Okay, so where do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day? Go on, tell them, Robin.
Good morning, America.
George.
Good morning, America.
Lara.
Good morning, America.
So, take it from Robin.
Put some good in your morning.
With ABC's Good Morning America.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-488-5880. 800-488-5880. 800-488-5880. Call right now. That's 800-488-5880. 5880.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
What's going on, world? This your boy Vincent J, aka the Fantasy Guru. And do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? It's time for the Stop It segment, right here on the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
Yes.
We definitely appreciate everyone who is listening live right now, whether it's through Facebook Live or the station 1100 AM, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and iRadio Now, wherever
you checking.
We definitely appreciate you. Like I said, it doesn't get old, and we definitely recognize that. But we also like to thank a special person, somebody that's listening right now, that's sitting in the barbershop getting his haircut. My man, Mr. African George. And shout out to his two sons, Ethan and Tando. Hopefully I'm not saying it wrong. But we thank you for listening right now live, and we also thank you for patronizing the shop for 8 years. And big ups to Africa, Wakanda forever. Hey, some of that stuff don't come from me, man. Don't get mad at me. But anyway, it is time for the most the most famous segment. Let's get it. Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You heard of it.
Stop it. Get some help.
That was dope right there.
Shout out to Devin. He just put that together.
Appreciate that, Devin.
Yeah, shout out. Good looking. Kid.
All right, Devin. You might
be on one.
You might be all right. You might be all right. Anyway, D, I'm going to let you go first with your stop it, sir.
Yeah, man, I got a good stop it because I'm so tired of hearing it. So the other day, LeBron hit a great shot, and I'm not going to take anything away from it because it was a great shot. When he hit it, I called one of my friends instantly. Actually, I called you, but you ain't answered.
You did.
Instantly called like, dude, did you see that shot? One thing about the shot first, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Thaddeus Young didn't play any defense whatsoever. No. He had a foul to give and a timeout. I blame that on the coaching. But what has happened the last few days is that they have compared that shot to Michael Jordan's Cleveland shot. They're saying this is LeBron's shot. So, yeah, it may be his shot, but you can't compare it to Michael Jordan's shot. Reason you can't compare it to Michael Jordan's shot is because, one, it was the clinch a series. It was not the clinch the third game of a series that you should have probably swept anyway. It's the first thing. The second reason is, comparing it to that shot, Michael Jordan did a double pump in the air, and by the time he released the ball, Craig Elo was on the ground. Please give him a stop.
Stop it.
It's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Why do everything he do, they got to try to compare? And again, I'm not hating on LeBron. He hit a great shot. The kid he's the greatest kid. He's the greatest player in the world right now. Taking nothing away from him. But stop comparing everything he do to Michael Jordan. He hit a shot for LeBron.
Yeah, just let it go. I'm tired of that, man. All right, quickly, my stop it moments. Man, I could give about 18 of them right now. But the first stop it moment I am going to give is to ESPN. You know, I know they're going through right now, but I was watching the game last Friday and just watching. I forgot what game it was, but it was halftime. Next thing you know how they interview the coach or whatever. No, it was after the game, and they interviewed. I think it was LeBron James, and it was Adam Schefter.
What?
Isn't Adam Schefter an NFL analyst? But
Insider.
he was doing a sideline interview.
He's an insider.
Yeah, that's insider. I'm sorry, he's an insider. Stop it.
They just needed. They just
Stop
They
it.
just need to fill somebody in.
I could have sworn just watching it when he interviewed LeBron and he was like, "Back to you." I thought he was going to say, and just got word that the 49ers,
Tom Brady is retiring.
Right. Back to it was like, come on.
They needed a filler. Somebody called in.
And last but not least, stick with the NBA. So, Game 4 was Oklahoma City was getting their butts kicked. They were getting, beat down. And Rudy Gobert and Raymond Felton got into it, right? And it wasn't nothing big. It was just a little skirmish. But because they were losing, some people have feelings. Russell Westbrook, who wasn't in the game, was on the sideline. He was about to check in, but he wasn't in the game. Jumped on the court, got into the fight, started pushing Rudy, and then, they had to push him back, whatever. So when it was time for him to get suspended, because we all know the rule, Adam Silver said we're just going to fine him, not suspend him, because he was going to check in anyway, but we're just going to fine him. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
They knew good and well they had to have Westbrook play.
Come on, man. Go ahead, G. I know you have something to say, man.
And look, they weren't going to have him be suspended, and now we got to – no one wants to say, Paul George in the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right.
And in Game 5 against the Utah Jazz.
And it would have been talked about all summer. Like, they really suspended Westbrook. I don't know. If I get suspended for coming off the bench, I'm taking them to court. Hey, y'all let Westbrook play.
Right.
I want to play.
So quickly, real quick, because we got to go. Do you all think that was the right move, though, by Adam Silver?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. Keep Westbrook in the series to make it worth watching. They were putting that on NBA TV.
Yeah, you got to.
And I don't think.
Just like you told the people don't rest when it's a primetime game, Golden State, you got, put good product on the court. If they hadn't had Westbrook out there.
And I don't think David Stern would have done it.
Yesterday, last night, the way Melo and Pete George.
Oh my God,
they would have lost about 40.
Yeah, they would have lost some viewers too, like 40,000. Look, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back to talk some NBA basketball. We'll be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
Radio.
Tune in
Now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at TuneIn.com.
Or your app store.
You're back inside the 3-Point Convergence Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
Hear that beat?
Yeah, that's that beat. I'm not going to get into it today, though. You know, I just say when I get home. Look, I'm going to play this when we at home. My wife's going to be like...
What are you doing?
Right.
You finna start the show?
Hey, man, what you got going on, man, this weekend?
Who knows? It's a beautiful day, man. It's a beautiful day. Probably go somewhere. Edgewood or something. Go to Harold's, get some chicken. Who knows?
Man,
sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm covering this Atlanta United. Shout out to the Atlanta United. United. Yeah, they should blow out Montreal Impact, but I mean, I'm going ahead and cover this for the 3-Point Conversion.
Know it.
And shout out to the 3-Point Conversion. Make sure you follow the 3-Point Conversion website, the 3pointconversion.com. Follow us on Facebook, 3-Point Conversion Facebook page, same as Instagram and Twitter, YouTube channel. Make sure you check us out. A lot of great stuff.
All that.
So, this NBA, last night, we saw, like we mentioned earlier, the Cleveland Cavaliers get destroyed. And it's Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
First, do y'all think it's a possibility that they're losing?
I think it's a possibility, but I don't think that they lose.
You say you don't think?
No, I think it's a good possibility that they can lose, but I don't think that they will lose.
It's possible. Indiana they took Game 1 there, so it's possible that Indiana can steal another one, but it's going to be hard because this could be it for LeBron to go out in the first round like this. I don't think the fans want to see it and the players don't want to see it. So there's going to be some kind of there's going to be something to play
New England
for.
Patriots. Oh, I thought you were going to say some type of New England Patriots.
I think that Game 4 was the one that Indiana needed to win the series. Again, not saying that they won't, because anything is possible. LeBron doesn't really lose, he doesn't lose in the first round.
Yeah, he's never lost in the first round.
Right, he doesn't lose in the first round, and they're home, and he's coming out. He coming out. I know he might have 20 in the first quarter.
He got to. I mean, it's Game 7.
He's probably had to have 40 for them to even have a chance to
right.
win. Because I think in the 3 games they won, he's had at least 30.
Right. Nobody else is doing nothing. I talked about it before the season started. People were saying how deep they were, and they got Clarkson and they got Hood. And I said, yeah, you got Clarkson and Hood, but they have never been in no meaningful playoff games, man. That is going to mean something. And look at their series average. They are hurt compared to what they did this season.
Right. And make sure you call in at 404-603-8770. Again, that's 404-603-8770. We would love for you to be a part of this conversation. Now, I think with Cleveland, they win, and I've been saying this all along. People have been getting on me about this. They're going to get past Indiana. And I said before the series started, I said this will be their hardest series as far as the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to go around and beat Toronto because Toronto can't beat them.
Mentally, physically.
Right? And then I think they're going to beat Philly or Boston. I think they can beat Boston for sure. And I think the only reason why they'll beat Philly is because inexperience.
Right, and I told you that's why I think Philly is going to win, because they don't know that they're supposed to lose.
Right, and I think that's why they're there now, but I think inexperience as far as certain situations.
Dude, they are way more talented than Cleveland.
Right. I agree. That's why I think inexperience.
But you would think that okay, so in Indiana, who do you got that's experienced in the playoffs?
With Indiana?
Yeah. Lance Stevenson.
Maybe Lance and maybe Thaddeus Young, but he hadn't been that far.
No,
that's it.
Right.
That's it.
So I mean,
but the reason why I think the first round it was going to be like that, because like you said, you have all these, as the old people say, these young bucks playing.
That's what Philly is.
But no, but I'm saying with Cleveland, you have Hood, you have Clarkson, you have Larry Nance, you have all these players that hadn't been in the playoffs before. They're wide-eyed right now.
You think they're going to be better by the
Conference
Finals?
Why
okay,
not?
so what about Philly?
But see, they have LeBron leading them. So what I'm saying is They're now
because they got LeBron. Because they got LeBron and his experience.
With Philly, you still have young players leading you or whatever. So that's why I believe that Cleveland is going to prevail just because of the inexperience with Philadelphia.
Well, first, Cleveland got to beat Indiana.
True. So this is what I say. I'm going to, and Carl, I see you there. But let me say this. With New Orleans, I want to know
about that.
Do you think the New Orleans Pelicans, because they're saying that Steph is iffy game one, do they have a chance to upset those Golden State Warriors?
I think it depends on when Steph comes back. That's what I think it. And I don't think it depends on the Steph we're going to get, because I expect Steph to come back and get in rotation. That's when they have had injuries and the player has come back, they don't really need like a time period for it to start gelling again. They get it. But if he missed 2 to 3 games, and if they can steal game 1, 2, or something like that, then yeah. And not just that, like Rajon Rondo has been saying he's waiting on. No offense to San Antonio, but he's only thinking about Golden State. And I know he's licking his chops because you know Rajon. You know how he play. He got experience. He's the quarterback of the team, so he's going to help them. I think what's going to be the major impact is if Mirotic is going to have great games, if he has them 20 to 25 point games that he's been having, and if Drew Holiday plays the way he's been playing. If they do that, man, that's going to be a good series. Not saying they're going to win, but it's going to be a good series.
Well, go ahead, G.
I think I don't think the Pelicans can win this series because I think the major difference is going to be Kevin Durant. There's no one on the Pelicans that can guard him. They're not going to put Anthony Davis on him. Right. Mirotic can't guard him
at all.
And if it's partly that and Draymond not going over the top. Right. If he stays in control of himself, then it's an easy series for the Warriors.
KD too.
Even if Curry doesn't play.
But
KD too.
And KD as well.
But I don't see.
Well, he doesn't have Boogie to worry about.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see anybody bothering Draymond because who is that person?
I mean,
now,
the
Mirotic can be. I mean, right. But I'm just saying, like, for the most part, you're right. If it's the refs, right. That's true. So, but I still think the reason why I think they might have a chance, we just talked about with Cleveland, because they do have a leader in Rajon who's really leading that team, whether he has the ball or not. He's directing traffic. He's
on the bench saying this.
If you watch when it's a timeout, they go to him on the bench.
That's what I'm telling you.
And Alvin Gentry is smart enough to let it happen.
He see what's out there. He know what's going on. And again, like you said, I don't think that they will beat him, but I think it's going to be, even if it goes 5-6 games right, I think those 5-6 games are going to be good games. You know what I mean?
And then too, man, I mean, you say Durant. I don't think Durant. To me, Durant is not the most important thing because, like you said, there's no one to guard Durant. But it's still, I don't care how good Draymond is, he can't guard AD. He can't. And I think he's going to be tired from trying to guard AD if they put him on AD. So I think the X factor is still going to be Klay. And if Curry comes back, but with Klay, I think you put Drew on him.
Yeah.
And can Drew frustrate him?
Yeah, Drew has good defense. He is a good defender.
But Klay can shoot over him.
True, but
easily.
But Klay has to play defense also, and really play defense because
they'll put Klay on Drew, and whenever Curry comes back or if it's Quinn Cook, you let Rondo. They can live with Rondo beating them with his scoring. Mm-hmm. As long as it depends somebody else.
It depends on what scoring though, Greg. And what I mean by it is, if for some odd reason he's hitting the jumper, you probably can live with that. But that's what I mean. That creating going to the rim scoring where he's messing up the defense, breaking it down, going all under. They can't let that type of scoring. You understand what I'm saying with it though? Like you know how they step back and let him hit. If he's hitting that, then hey, I mean.
Well, that's what I mean. As far as him getting to the basket, of course they don't want that. Yeah. So that will fall on McGee and Zaza, and if Donnie Jones ends up getting some more minutes. But they will live with Rondo making jumpers.
Right.
Any team will live with that.
Right. I think the NBA will live with that.
But I agree with you. Mirotic has to play well, and also.
But who's going to be on him? Dre probably, right?
Who on Mirotic?
No, KD probably, because Dre is
He'll
going to
probably
be
KD
on
on him.
Anthony Davis.
No,
but you can limit him. Like if he's just standing in the corner, where he is.
Right,
and they can load up on the other side on Holiday or
he been moving around in this offense though. In this New Orleans offense, he's been balling.
But look,
I think what goes into it is because he played with Rondo last year. I think that really has something to do with it.
But see, I think Mirotic can bother KD because Mirotic is not afraid of anyone. We saw him step to LeBron.
Yeah,
we saw him step to. I mean, he's always that feisty player, and I think.
He looked funny without that beard.
Yeah, I think he
still looks like Andrew Luck.
Yeah, he still looks like Andrew Luck, right? But I still think he bothers KD. Now, what happens? Does that turn the switch on for KD and KD goes off for 45 points?
It could.
Or is KD going to get a technical and get frustrated?
Because Mirotic gonna be messing with him. And you know what I did notice about Mirotic since playing with New Orleans, even before he got traded. He doesn't do the pump fake like that anymore.
Man, thank God. Rondo probably got on him about that.
Like, man, if you don't stop pump faking, man.
He be pump faking for
no reason for 8 minutes.
From 45 feet. Like, what you pump faking for?
Yeah, he's shooting from back here.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Now, the other series in the East now, Boston, they have to get past Milwaukee.
We thought that was going to go easy in the first 2 games.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, the home team has won every game. Can Milwaukee do it? Or does it look like, is this one of those old school 1980 playoff series where the home team win each game?
I think that they can do it, but from what we've seen, the home team wins every game.
There's one person who needs to step up in that series. I haven't seen him do it a whole series. Bledsoe.
I knew it. Bledsoe has been Chris Middleton has been awesome.
He's been good. Giannis has been good. Jabari has been good when they let him play.
Yeah.
But Bledsoe has not been there at all.
He's gone too. He's good as gone. Jabari's leaving. Man.
You think Jabari's leaving?
Yeah.
They have him coming off the bench.
Yeah, look what he's doing.
He's supposed to be the face of the franchise.
Is he a free agent this year?
He's restricted, but I don't think they didn't even qualify him, right? They didn't give him a qualifying offer. Yeah.
So.
Somebody going to offer him big money.
But do you think he's coming off the bench because of the injury? Because he was starting. I mean, he was.
I mean, I would understand that, at first, working him back into the lineup.
I think he starts next.
But he hasn't been. He hasn't been starting,
right? And not just that.
In some cases, he hasn't played a lot of minutes.
The Jason Kidd thing that affected it too, and it's kind of like from what I've read, is that he is still feeling some type of way about that towards the organization. They didn't offer him a qualifying. It's a lot of things, man. I really do not think he's coming back.
I just know
he's been
now,
balling too,
but.
Man.
You go up to the other team with Boston, I think now this is about to cause a situation for the Boston Celtics. Because now, the way these young kids are playing, I'm not saying you...
Man, it's a good situation.
No, it's a good situation, but I'm saying, I know you don't bench Gordon Hayward.
I mean, you could throw out a lineup, right, of
you can't.
Of Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, I guess sometimes Tatum. The thing is, Tatum is big. He 6'8"?
But you're not.
It's like 6'10".
But you're not going to play. But you're not going to play him at power forward when we know his defense is not that good.
But who is he sticking at power forward nowadays?
Shoot, anybody is scoring on him.
I'm
right
just
now.
saying, name a power forward that he would have to be in the post against.
Not even in the post, but I'm just saying he's not. Even if you have a power forward that's not strong, playing against Jalen. I mean, playing against my man Tatum, he still can't guard that.
But he would have to do it as a 3. He would have to guard a 3 on the perimeter. So, I mean, I think
because you're going to have Jaylen Brown.
No, but I mean, now what he's doing. Now what is he doing?
Is he playing? Yeah, he's playing a small, though. So I think he'll have to move to the 4. I just don't think.
Who's Terry Rozier? Didn't they start Smart the other day? No, he came off the bench. So Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown.
It's like Tatum, Morris, and Horford.
And that's why I said he. Because I don't think
that's not a problem. He could be the 6th man and keep Morris down there. But that's a good problem to have.
I'm not saying it's not like that, but I'm just saying the way Tatum is playing, the way Jaylen Brown is playing, you would hate to because
when Hayward and Kyrie get back, one of them has to.
Yeah, no, I know that, but think about it.
You think traded?
Hold on, but
traded? Yes.
Think about it. Yeah,
for what though?
I don't know. They'll figure
I don't
it
think
out.
they're going to trade
But he's under contract, still a rookie contract, so there's no really reason to.
Rozier would get traded. I don't think.
But why would he get traded? He would be the backup point guard.
No, they don't have enough room.
They have enough room for what? They ain't got no backup point guard.
You got Marcus Smart.
He's not going to come back. He's going to get signed to a big offer sheet. Believe that.
No, they're going to keep Marcus Smart. They want Marcus Smart.
Okay.
They need Marcus Smart.
They're not going to be able to afford Marcus Smart.
That's why Terry Rozier gets traded, I believe. But look, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get to this NFL, back at it. Keep it locked.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Marcus Banks to the Big 3 of the Ghost Ballers. You're listening to the Sports Lounge with my main man, Mr. Controversy.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Sit back with me, the baseball antagonist. Pull up your favorite chair, grab a drink, and listen as Mr. Controversy helps us relax with his sports knowledge in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, right here on the 3-Point Conversion Station.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
In the building.
Another great Saturday.
That was a good convo right there.
Great combo. All these segments been like that.
Yeah, it's been crazy today.
Sometimes I wish we had a 10 hours. No, just kidding. I can talk sports all day, bro.
All day long.
Can do it. So look, the Battlegrounds Championship went down last week. We had Danny Thompson going up against Damian Adams.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great battle. Everybody was calling me like, man, that was a great battle. People were messaging me. It was great. They was like, that was one of the best so far. So the winner for this gift card,
without further ado,
some nice gas money, depending on what you're driving, might be able to get you 2 full tanks and then we throw it in the shirt as well. By one vote, and I promise you I'm not saying this to make it close, no, but by one vote, Damian Adams won, man.
Damian.
By one vote.
Damian won by one vote. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations. It was crazy. That was one of the hardest. People were like, man, just like it was hard, man. It was tough, but I got to go. It got a lot of votes in. Like I said, it was, man, that was a good battle.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great battle.
Definitely.
So, by one vote. So congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
Damian. So, Damian, now that you won, like I said, you get that, but now you have to go, you will go up against the last season champion, Mr. Kyle Clanton L. Goes by Spoonie Mac. But yeah,
Spoonie Mac.
You have to go against him.
Yes.
To be the undisputed.
To be undisputed, undefeated.
So, man. But anyway, let's get to this NFL. And, I think D want to get back to this This Cleveland Browns, man. He been itching to talk about this.
Yeah, man. I just feel like they could have stockpiled more picks and got the same people. Like, I feel like Baker would have been there, like you said, 4. I feel like Ward would have been there a little later. And even if they got Baker first, I promise you, I thought they were going to get Bradley Chubb.
So do you think, but is it that bad what they did?
I don't think the picks were that bad.
But it's just that they could have done better.
I think they could have got Baker at 8th.
It was Cleveland Brownish.
Yeah, exactly. And then if it doesn't work, then it's going to be – I don't know. And then they got Dorsey over there, right?
Right.
That's the new GM. And
yeah.
It's as if once you get in the Browns draft room, everything you ever did just changes or something, man.
Yeah, it does. Now –
the Ward pick is good.
Who?
The Ward pick is good. I'm not against it. They needed a cornerback, but I feel like you could have got that second round. You could have got the other. You could have got Chubb, and it would have put so much pressure on the quarterback he wouldn't have had the time to throw it.
Right. All right. So we have a caller wanting to chime in and give their 3 cents on this NFL draft. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Raphael.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, sir? Your co-host.
Oh, what up, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
How you doing?
Yeah. I don't understand something, man. Y'all got a good show going on today, but I don't understand something with your NFL draft segment.
Okay, what's that?
So go ahead.
You listening? Both y'all from Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all not talking about the Bears draft? Why you not talking about that stud out of the University of Memphis, my hometown? That's 901 Shelby Drive.
Oh, that's coming
Anthony
next.
Miller.
That's coming
Why
next.
Why you not talking about him, Raphael? You talking about everybody else draft?
That's coming next. You've got to be, you save the best for last, sir. You know how you do it,
you say last. Okay, you got about 20. You got about 20 minutes. I just wondering.
Yeah, that's
why y'all trying to talk about everybody else draft. Talk about your own team draft. I'm just asking.
Absolutely.
Give love to the 901, baby.
Absolutely. We never want to always drill in people's head, the Bears, the Bulls, the Cubs, the Sox. Like, we don't want to always do that, so we give other people their
But since you bring it up.
Since you brought it up
quickly.
Let's get on them Bears.
Now, the first pick was
A+.
Excellent. A+.
He was like the number 5th player, the 5th ranked overall player. We got him.
Right.
Next pick, a center who's probably going to move over. Another banger. And as our caller just said, the third pick, we traded up with New England to get Anthony Miller. Only thing they got to worry about, he just got to sit in front of what's the thing that shoot the balls out?
Yeah.
What's the
the jug machine?
The jug machine. He's just going to have to sit there the whole offseason. Sit there because his hands are too big to be dropping as many passes as he drops. So, but he's the only player in Memphis history to have 2,000-yard receiving years. The other player that has done it once is Isaac Bruce.
And before we get to our next caller, one thing I got to say about the Bears is with the wide receiver, and Deke called me. He was like, I don't get it, man. I thought we should have went after Sutton. And I said, think about it. The way they're very strategic because with Allen,
Robinson.
Allen Robinson, I'm sorry. Allen Robinson, he's that big receiver already. He's the number one, but he's the big receiver. We don't need another. I know it was a beast with Marshall and Alshon, but I don't want that anymore. We need that. We got Taylor Gabriel, I understand, but we still need that. Other.
Y'all still got Kevin White?
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
But I think that's why they got Miller, too.
Yeah,
like, you know what? We're not
safe.
going to sit here and expect you to be, you know what I mean? And
so, look, we're going to go to our caller.
That boy cut
Go
up,
ahead. Caller, you there?
Yeah. Yo.
What up, man? Thanks for
going
calling
on,
in.
Yeah, I want to.
Is that second free?
On that Cleveland Browns, man.
What's up, second free? Go ahead, man. What you got?
What's up with y'all, man? Listen, like I told you when I was down here, man. If you don't take Barkley, you already in the dumps. You got to start off fresh. You got your new money. You got all this other stuff. You got to get the man that's going to take you out to at least the wild card.
Right.
At least the wild card. So I just don't understand that pick. So I understand, quarterbacks are supposed to be premium and all that. But like you said earlier in the show, There ain't that many draft classes of quarterbacks that really did something.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And they could have got
Tom Brady was in the 7th round, wasn't he?
Right. And then they got Tyrod Taylor, so they could have sat back and found somebody in the 2nd or 3rd round and let them play behind Tyrod for a year or two.
Because what if Tyrod – so, Second Free, let me ask you this quickly. What if Tyrod –
kills it?
Yeah, what you going to do then?
If he kills it.
Yeah, what if Tyrod – I'm saying what if Tyrod –
what if he takes him to the
playoffs?
To the AFC
and balls because he has talent now.
Game.
He has real talent. Like I said, I thought Sammy Watkins is garbage. So because he has talent with Gordon and with the guy that came from Miami – Landry,
pay him a bunch. What they got?
You still got Corey.
Hyde.
You still got Corey there. So what if he balls out? What do you do with Mayfield then?
Hey, with Mayfield, you gotta just let him sit the bench.
Yeah, you got to Aaron Rodgers. You got to Aaron Rodgers him.
Let him sit by two
for 4 years.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
That's what you got to have to do. Hope that wait till Tyrod have a bad year, then let him go. So
but man, they done did Tyrod wrong the whole time he done been in the NFL.
Right.
And all he do is put up decent numbers, man. His numbers aren't horrible. I looked at him, man. He does not have horrible numbers, man.
Appreciate you for calling, Sucker Free. Yeah,
thanks for calling.
Yeah,
man.
and like I said, it's crazy, but I want to jump ship real quick. Talk about quarterbacks. Now we saw the Indianapolis Colts. They picked a tackle, and everybody's saying
Trying
great. Was it the guy from Notre Dame?
Yeah, Quentin Nelson.
They picked Quentin Nelson. Yeah,
the Colts. Yes.
Yeah, Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, it's guard.
Yep.
Guard. I mean, the beast. That's who we were going to get. But I'm kind of glad we didn't.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I wanted him though.
I understand it because they say he's going to be an All-Pro, and he probably will be. And we got his coach. But I love this linebacker we got, man. I love this dude.
So with Indianapolis, everybody said now he has protection, which thank God I agree. But is he overrated?
Though. Right.
You need a left tackle.
Yeah, you do. But is
right.
That's come on, let's be real. We're gonna tell the truth and shame the devil. Is Andrew Luck? Is he overrated?
I don't think he is. I think that first off, they have put a horrible product on the field with him.
Yeah, I don't think he's overrated, but he's been treated like, you know how when John Elway first came into the league, he was everything for the Broncos. He had to do it all. But you can't do that with a quarterback anymore.
And you can't.
You got to build a decent team around, especially an offensive
line, a running back, a defense that's gonna make sure this dude gets killed when he plays. Like when you see the hits, he's tapping him on the helmet saying good hit. Because I mean, they say he's pretty, playful like that. Like Peyton used to be, good hit, things like that. But he is getting murdered. Like, didn't he have a kidney injury or broken ribs from getting sacked or something else, man? Before this shoulder injury was something else.
Right.
He gets whacked, man.
I think he's overrated. And I'm not saying he's not good, but I think what we thought he was, he's not.
But who is he? He hasn't had definitely hasn't had the offensive line.
At all.
But the weapons that he's had.
And his running back was Frank Gore. He was like 52 when he came to Indianapolis.
But Frank Gore still
he still did. Yeah, he did.
Can I say one thing? Russell Wilson
is running for his life in Seattle.
But he's balling.
But he can't.
He's
Pro
bowling.
But that's
touchdowns.
because he can run.
Luck can run.
He can't run like Russ.
Why not?
Come on, man. Come on. He's not as athletic as Russ. He is athletic, but he's not.
He had a better 40 time than Cam Newton in the combine.
Well, he ain't got it now. He don't have it.
So I'm just saying that I just think that Andrew Luck is. I think he's not as good as we thought he was going to be. Not saying he can be a good quarterback or a very good quarterback. Even if he's great, but they put him as the best quarterback, maybe close to Peyton.
So he missed 7 games with the lacerated kidney. Dude, that's no like you know how hard you got to get hit to get a lacerated kidney.
No, I'm not. But when he was healthy, what did he do? He threw picks.
You say he threw picks.
That's what he did.
That's all he did.
Russell Wilson been running for his life.
2016, he threw for 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 13 picks. Had a 96.4 rating.
That was the one year he bought out.
Oh my So
I give him that. I mean, he was a beast.
2014, 4,700 yards, 40 TDs, 16 interceptions, 96.5.
16 interceptions.
For 40 touchdowns?
But that's a lot of interceptions.
That's not even 2 for 1.
That's a lot of interceptions, bro. And them interceptions was costly. Like, they weren't interceptions that...
2013, 3,800 yards, 23-9.
And what they do. I just don't. I mean,
so now you're gonna put that on him. Now you're gonna put that part on him.
But you know how many quarterbacks I know has thrown for 4,000 yards and 4,500? That don't mean anything.
But you saying he overrated? They said who he is. He's a good quarterback.
They put him as the quarterback that would throw for 45 touchdowns, 7 picks. You look at Brady. Look at Brady numbers. Look what he's done. Look at Manny numbers when he was.
So you saying you?
That's why I say he's not as good as everybody thought he would be. Remember, when he came in, everybody put him as he was going to be next to Peyton Manning.
Off of a injury-plagued year in 2015, he comes back and throws 42, 31, and 13 with a 96 rating.
That's pretty good.
Man. And the year before the injuries, 4,700 yards, 40 TDs, 16 picks, 96.5. Mind you, 2014 was his 3rd year in the league.
So let me ask, look at Russell. If you pulled up Russell Wilson's, his ratings, 100, 98. And like I said, at least he has T.Y. Russell had no one.
He had nobody?
Oh, he had no one. Who?
Marshawn Lynch.
After Marshawn Lynch is when he had his best year.
Okay, so 2016, he went for 4,200, 21 TDs, 11 interceptions, 92.6. He do have some 100 ratings. You're right. You do. 26 and 9 TDs in 2013, 3,300 yards. 2012, 3,100 yards, 26 TDs, 10 interceptions. So his best year was definitely, I'll probably say 2015, 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Stop it. Come on, man. Let's go to quick commercial break. We got to talk some Major League Baseball, man. Y'all get me revved up right now.
But how is he overrated? He's not overrated. You comparing him to somebody else. But nobody's not saying that Russell isn't good.
No, what I'm saying is Andrew Luck was supposed to be the number one. You know he was.
He still probably is going to be if he can live.
Nah. Look, we got to take a quick break. Here's another segment where we wish we could keep going. We'll be right back, y'all.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
What's up? This is Justin Gibbons, defensive back, Montreal Alouettes, and I'm just kicking back listening to that 3-point conversion radio with my boy, Mr. Controversy.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes, we are back inside a 3-point conversion sports
Man, that was
lounge.
A good combo.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Hey, and shout out to Mr. Warren, the famous Warren, still at the shop right now. What's going on, Warren?
Waiting to get that cut, huh, Warren?
So look, man. So let's get into it real quickly. The Atlanta Braves are doing their thing right now.
MLB baseball, baby.
And with the Braves, you know, like I said, we still know they're maybe a year or two away, 2 or 3 years away, if we can say that.
Right.
I think that's fair. But still,
14 and 11, 2.5 games back.
Yeah.
Look at them Mets.
This is what I got to say about the Braves. they have this rookie that they just called up this past week, and Ronald Acuna Jr. And this guy has been a tear. This dude. So when he was in the major leagues, and shout out to Horace and SRT group. You know, I spoke to Horace. We were having a great conversation about this. But, you know, how it works in baseball, you know how they put you on, they don't bring you in to start you so they can get that extra year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was batting 198, you know, for a while. And they wanted to wait till he got to the 300 mark. He got over 300. Once he did, automatically he's in the lineup, right? This dude is batting 462.
Man.
Rookie. And that dude is so fast, bruh. Coming around that corner fast, 462. As a rookie. True enough, he's only had, 12 to 14 at-bats, but still.
Killing it.
Coming in as a rookie.
Killing it.
And then, you know, they have Ozzie Albies. He's the shortstop or second baseman. I think he's second baseman. He's batting 287, which is still great for a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And he has 8 home runs, which is second in the majors or in the league. So are the Braves looking good? Do you think with these other prospects they have, how many years you want to give them?
I mean, it can happen quick. Like just how it happened with the Cubs. It happened with Houston. It can happen quick. If you got kids that's coming in that's really dedicated to their craft and trying to come in and win, and you make the correct small moves around them, you know, such as when the Cubs got Ben Zobrist and the pitchers and things like that, you make them small moves. But as long as you're building your farm system up and bringing them up, and you bring them up the right way. You're not trying to rush them up, and you know you bring them up the right way when they're ready. You don't try to just let me put you out here because I need you. You know you're not going to play well anyway. So if you got somebody out there that's not ready and he needs to stay in AAA ball, leave him in AAA ball and let the other person at second base that's not playing well not play well because you weren't going to win too much anyway.
Right.
So I think that's they definitely going about it the right way. The season started off well for them. As you know, probably as expected, it's going to even off and tail down. We expect the Washington and New York Mets to be up there as the leaders for that division. So I think eventually it'll start slowing down, and I think he'll continue to play well. And man, he's killing it.
This dude, man, and like I said, the way he bats, but then he has speed, man. Like it's nothing like a player that can bat for average, but has that speed. I mean, you think about who I still don't think get his just due, and Kenny Lofton,
right,
batting 301, 3-something, but had speed like you couldn't stop him.
Crazy.
So if he gets on base, whether he's hitting or walking, he's a threat once he's on base.
Period. You can't walk him. You walk him, he gonna turn into a double.
And it's looking good for the Braves, man. Shout out to the home team. So, which makes me wonder, what is the best way to, I guess, get your team, franchise, organization back to winning ways? Is it saying, you know what? Look, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to have a fire sale. We're going to start all over. Wait 4 or 5 years, 3 to 5 years, like a Houston Astros, Chicago Cubs. And when I say the Cubs, yes, we've been horrible for a while, but they actually they were like, look, we about to just start all over.
Yep.
Cubs, the Braves, or do you do like a New York Yankees team? You know, maybe the LA Angels. Even though right now they got prospects, but, teams like that. What is the best way to get your organization coming up?
Well, it all depends. Like you've given two different how the approaches are different, and it's primarily based on money. The Yankees always seem to have just this bottomless well of money.
Like no matter what
happens,
that's what they got their own network. Man.
Like we talked about, I think we talked about Stanton last week,
right?
And Is it working out? And could they have waited for Bryce Harper? They could probably still get Bryce Harper.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
And give him that $400 million.
Cap. There's no cap. They can do whatever they want.
With it being no salary cap, then it's, whatever the media market, whatever, however much money that particular city can generate.
They're number one every year.
So the Yankees can do whatever they want. The Angels, being in L.A., the Dodgers can do whatever they want. The Cubs are kind of that way.
Like just a notch under, probably.
Yeah, but they have the
Right.
guy. Like, he's the greatest GM of all time. Has to be Theo Epstein.
And Rick has just shown that he's willing to spend the money.
Right.
And then you have the smaller market teams like Houston, to where they just load up on the farm system, and then bring those guys in, and in a couple years, all of a sudden it'll like come at somebody. It'll be a surprise, kind of like how Houston was and how Kansas City was. Load up in the farm system, and then in a couple years, all of a sudden they're in the World Series.
And maybe grab one pitcher or one right fielder that was a
right
free
at the
agent
trade deadline or something
like that.
The only problem, though, like a Kansas City Royals, you get to the point where because you are a small market, you win a World Series.
You don't have the money.
Your players get big.
You don't have the money.
It's only short for 3 to 4 years.
I like the farm system way, because I think New York has tried it the free agent way. It didn't work when they had everybody, when it was Teixeira, Jeter, A-Rod. Like, they had all these people. It just didn't work. But then they put a little in the farm system, Judge, Sheffield, and now it's coming together. The Cubs, perfect example. We went out and got Alfonso Seriano. We had all these people. Derek Lee. We had all these people, all this money, but they ain't do nothing.
Moises Alou. Yeah.
Moises Alou, they didn't do nothing. We did all of this, so we're going to reset it. And look what it turned out. Like G said, with Houston, they hit the reset button.
You got to look at it how I believe the Marlins did it both ways when they won the World Series.
Right.
When they won it in 97, they got every free agent you could
available. Conine and everybody, right?
Conine and Gary Sheffield and Bonilla and Kevin Brown and Al Leiter.
They tried to sign Danny Ainge. They tried to
bring him
right.
Russell Wilson wasn't even born yet. But they tried to, hey, you want to come throw a pitch?
And then in 2003, they had the young pitching staff with Beckett and A.J. Burnett. I don't know if Dontrell Willis was on that team in 2003.
Yeah,
he actually was.
So they had a young team, and they kind of they tore it all apart in 97 after that. But then they built it up, and then they won another one.
What is wrong with the Marlins, man?
I don't know.
Like, they have this team, and they blow it up every time. Like, right after they win, they blow it up.
Yeah, it's. Man, today.
But hopefully Jeter is changing it down.
Today has been a day of segments that could have gone longer.
The whole show could have been about one session.
Hey, man, forget that, man.
Time.
The next show, they just got to take a loss on this one. We coming back. No, I'm just kidding. Look, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Yeah.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
You know it.
And you know what that means when you hear this music. It is time to go. But before you go and before we leave, you want to definitely give out some shouts out. And first, I have to shout out the man upstairs, God Almighty, for giving me this platform, man, for putting me in this position to say what I want to say, to speak my mind, talk sports, which I love to do. I could do all day and night. And to make you all happy, upset, mad, want to give me the stop it button and all. And I got to thank my co-host. Well, before I get my co-host, I got to thank my engineer, Mr. Greg, and Greg don't know it, but we'll talk about that later. We might have to come up with an offer ourselves. But Greg, I appreciate it for your stuff today, bro.
Chuck the deuces to us.
Right, I know, right? Hey, but anyway, then we got to shout out my co-host, Mr. D Intellectual. Appreciate you, man. It's good to have you back, sir.
You know it. Missed last week, man. I was out there getting my party on. You understand? Had to do a little vacation. But Greg, man, thanks, man. Appreciate you. You always got us holding us down. Appreciate that, definitely. Give thanks to definitely God, my co-host, Mr. Controversy, putting all this together. Friends, family, all fans listening. You know we do it quick and short, man.
Yes, sir. And I want to thank my family, my beautiful wife, and my children for their support. Cousins, aunts, aunties, my Uncle Bubba. What up, Unc? Play cousins and all. I want to thank everybody who was listening as well. Mr. Michael Folks that listened. Derek Branch. Appreciate you. Danny Thompson. Damian Adams. Congrats once again for winning Battlegrounds. And our sponsor, Cindy Cuts Barbershop, Sucker Free LLC. Also, we want to thank our guests and Sean Thomason, our callers, Sucker Free once again. Mr. Vincent that called in. Who else? We want to, I want to tell you all, man, make sure you love family. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Have fun.
And love. Live life in love.
Yes, do it. And until then, next week, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense.
Same crazy topics.
Hopefully it might be the same engineer. And hopefully. But hey, we welcome the next engineer if they come in. But,
do their thing because,
that's how we do. We got you.
We ain't know what was going on either. So, whatever it is, we're going to appreciate it.
We'll see, though. We'll see,
And whoever it is, we're going to rock it anyway.
We are, but, we from Chicago. You know how we do that. But anyway, make sure y'all be safe. Until then, will you miss me? I'm out. Peace.
Peace.
Just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.